Fantastic. We've made a great deal of progress already in the course. We've found out about classes and objects and properties and methods. We've constructed a particular class called baddie, and we've created two instances of that class or objects called Gannon and Scaldera. And that baddie class contains an evilness property, which is just a variable, and two methods or functions which change the evilness to certain values, 15 and 20. Now you might be wondering a little bit, what's the point of all of this? I could have done that very easily using the procedural coding that I'm very familiar with. Well, on the one hand, I'd say go back to my initial video, which states a little bit the reasons why we might want to use object-oriented programming. But also carry on with me, because we're starting to see the magic methods that PHP gives us, which gives us a clue, I think, as to what exactly the power is that lies in these object-oriented techniques. So, magic methods. They sound very exciting. They're very simple. Let's find out the first one. That's constructors. So let's just break ourselves down to our original setup. There we go. So you'll remember that from our first video in section 2. This is our baddie class with an evilness property of 10, and that is public so that I can access it from anywhere. Let's just save that and refresh. Lovely. All is fine. So what is a constructor then? Well, a constructor function is one that happens every time a particular object is created. So every time I create a new baddie, the constructor function will take place. So in a game, that might be, I create a new baddie, let's display it on the screen. So then you don't have to do two different functions. You don't have to say, let's create a baddie and then display it on the screen. It's all contained within the one class. So to create a magic method, we use the same process as we did for normal methods, and we start with public and function. But because it's a magic method, we use a double underscore at the beginning of the function name, or the method name. And that tells PHP that this is a magic method that we want to use. And we want to use a constructor. So we use the magic method underscore underscore construct. And then whatever I put in between these two curly brackets will be executed every time a new baddie is created. So for now, let's just say a baddie has been created. Okay, and that will happen as soon as the new object is created. So let's just get rid of this var dump for the moment to avoid any confusion, and then run that code. Brilliant. So we've now run this function because a new baddie was created. And of course, if we create another one, so let's have our Scaldera back again, then the function will be run twice. So every time we create a new baddie, then this constructor function will run. And we can even be slightly cleverer than that, and we can use the class name in our echo statement here. So we could get rid of the word baddie, and if you're familiar with PHP, you'll be familiar with this. We can close the statement and then put a string in here, or a variable, or a property. And the property that we're going to use is class. And you'll notice, whoops, I've used a double underscore at the start and a double underscore at the end. And that will just give you the class name. You can actually use that anywhere inside the class. So now if I run that, there we go. We've got the same effect, capital B this time because the class name begins with a capital B, and we've created that class. So we're going to look at constructor functions in a lot more detail as we go on, but that's just the basic idea. Every time we create a class, the constructor function runs. And in the next video, we're going to see how we can use that function to set certain values, such as an evilness value, to whatever value we want when we create the object.